Hey guys, I'm back. So this video is going to be week 13, way delayed, of the YouTube Pagan Challenge. Thank you, phone. And that week is, do you use divination and what types? As a lot of people have already touched on, I use a lot of stuff that's already in nature. The clouds. I'll see runes in like limbs that have fallen on the ground, or patterns in concrete, or in rocks and fire, smoke, all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot to be said for that, and paying attention to the animals and things like that that come into your life. But in terms of, and what most people are talking about when they say divination, is tarot and runes and things like that. I tried tea leaves when I was little. Can't read tea leaves to save my freaking life, man. Like, it's just like staring at a cup. That's, might as well be staring at a wall. Like, it's pretty china. That's all I got. But some things that I do use, I do work with runes. I have a blooded bone set that are blooded to Odin, and then I have a U rune set, like the U wood. And that one is dedicated to Hell, actually. Kind of like the women in my family, the matriarchs. And I don't use those as often. Honestly, when it comes to runes, I use it more in a magical language and a sigil way, and I do divination. When I do pull them out, it's a big deal, I guess you'd say. I don't just like whip them out all willy-nilly. Let's see. I use a lot of tarot and a lot of oracle cards. Actually, I do a daily pull, which I haven't done today, but I usually do a daily pull of 2 cards from the Earth Magic and 2 cards from Medicine Cards, which is a deck that's very sacred to me. It's sentimental. It is that and the Goddess Knowledge Oracle deck. A lot of Susan Seddon Boulet's artwork on it, which I love Susan Seddon Boulet. If you have not looked her up, look her up, especially if you're into very like neo-shamanic, animistic kind of paintings. So she's amazing. I grew up with Susan Seddon Boulet posters like plastered on my mother's walls, and the Goddess Knowledge deck and the Medicine deck being 2 of my favorites that my mom had. As a matter of fact, my first introduction to Hell that I can remember was through the Goddess Knowledge deck. I remember just like staring at that card for a really long time, at least for a kid, and just being fascinated by it. I now have those decks, those exact decks, so they're really like sentimental. Oh, the Shirley Harnish Divine Guidance deck. I believe it's the Divine Guidance one, which is like a bunch of fractals, and the cards are numbered. I don't vibe with that one as much. It's a beautiful deck, beautiful, but it's not something that I go to grab all the time. What else? I have, in tarot, I have the Hidden Path and the Well-Worn Path. I don't use those as much because I feel like they're very ceremonial feeling. So I don't just kind of use them on the fly, if that makes sense. I have read with them for other people, and I do like using it for that. I do like reading for other people with them. The oldest deck that I have is actually right there, that little black sliver. And it is the Mythic Tarot. It was printed in 1986, and it is almost as old as me. I got it from a friend back when I was a teenager. It's the first deck I ever owned, and she is very much the proper crone, and she does not have time for your bullshit. I will keep giving you this same damn card until you leave me alone. So I use her, but I don't use her as much anymore. While she is very dear to me, and yeah, they totally have personalities to me. She's very dear to me. I don't use her all the time. I feel like she's earned retirement, if that makes sense. So yeah, the main tarot deck that I use is actually Tarot of the She, which is like right in front of me because it's never far. And it's right there. Tarot of the She. And I keep it in this. I am weird about my cards where I don't like them to touch anything but the surface that they are assigned to, if that makes sense. So like this cloth is the only thing my cards touch. These cards. Or like the cloth that came with the Mythic Tarot, it only touches that. I don't know why, it's a reverence thing. I just don't like it. It's something I started when I was a lot younger, and I've just always done it. Another thing that I noticed with my tarot, and not so much with oracle cards, I think, maybe, I've never really paid attention to it, is that if I buy them myself because it's something that I think is nice, they don't click with me as well. Whereas if they come to me, maybe there's like an insane sale and I just wander in, or someone gives me the money and says, go get this deck. This is your birthday gift. Or someone just gifts me one, like Magic was gifted to me by my friend Adam. Hi, Adam. Or, yeah, they're just like passed on. Then I like really vibe with them. Like they came to me on their own, like they chose. And I don't know, there's just a deeper connection with them there. I'm told that that's a pretty old belief, but I don't know. That's how I roll. So there's that. Am I forgetting anything else? Oh, I also have the Art Nouveau deck by Antoine Castanelli, I believe was his name. If not, I'll correct myself underneath or something, or in this. And it's a beautiful deck. It's an Art Nouveau deck. It's in the name. And my favorite cards off of that is probably Death. And what's this one over here? Well, here's a card right here. I'll show you. Well, I probably can't because she's naked as fuck. It's the Nine of Swords. Yeah, I don't. It's back there. Anyway, if you go to my Instagram, which is Invoking the Balance, all together, no spaces, there's some pictures of it. I have a picture of the Death card on there, and there's some like pictures of my altar and my great grandmother's cauldron, and like random selfies of me and maybe my food. It's fucking Instagram. I don't know. But yeah, if you go to Instagram, you'll see that shit. Or you could just use Google, whatever. I think that's all, really, with the divination. I have two pendulums. I have one that's really old that I've never used. I'm being honest. And it's a hematite one, and it's like formed in a drop shape, like the polished ones. And I didn't really ever like the polished ones that much, but I don't know. I think I bought it back in the day because I felt like I needed one, which you should never do. Don't buy anything because you feel like you have to have it, like from peer pressure, or like you're not a witch unless you have this shit. Fuck that. The other one that I do use, not as often, but I use it, is a big hunk of tiger's eye, and it's not like polished and shaped. It's kind of it's polished, but it's like, it's still its regular shape. You know what I mean? It's still a natural shape. And it's a bulky, like gunmetal chain. It's got some gusto to it. And there is a beautiful owl with amber eyes on top that you hold it by. And that thing jumped off its little rotation thing at me. No draft. I didn't hit it. It just like fucking flew at me. And so there you go. But I also use a lot of kinesiology stuff too. Muscle testing and things like that to help me with anything that I would really use a pendulum for. So, that's a thing. Which, if you want to hear more about that, I recommend her speak, Molly's channel, because she actually does have a video about it. And she's one of the first ones in the pagan community that I have seen speak about it. So I was really pumped about that. I'm like, hey, you know that thing too. Yes! Shut up, phone. So, yeah, this is my video on divination. I'm keeping it under 11 minutes. I love your faces. Thank you for watching. If you want me to cover these decks more in depth and show them, let me know below. I'll be happy to do that. So, love you guys. Bye.